everyone, today I am doing another tag video, and this one is all about libraries. The original creator of this tag is Pine Books, and I will link to the original video below. Question number 1, how often do you visit your local library? That's a great question, and it has changed a lot over the years. My current library where I live now lets you keep books for 3 weeks, so I would say generally speaking I go once a month to return books and pick up my new books. But I also always have holds on multiple books. So sometimes my name will come to the top of the queue more often than that, and I go more often to pick up my books. Question 2, are you the type of person who checks out more books than you know you can read, or are you someone who only checks out the exact number of books you intend on reading before they are due? Again, it has changed over the years. Right now I'm definitely more of the latter. I tend to only check out books that I know I'm planning to read. But a big reason why is I always put books on hold at the library. So books that I know I want to read, I put on my holds list, and then when I get an email that they're available, they're just right there on the hold shelf for me, so I just have to walk in, get my books, check out, and leave. So I don't spend a lot of time browsing the library these days. I kind of miss it, and I've been thinking about trying to get back into that, but I also love the ease with which I can do my errands to be able to just kind of go pick up my books. Question 3, how old were you when you got your first library card? That's a good question. I know I was young. I want to say maybe 4 or 5, or maybe 5, because maybe I feel like I have a vague recollection that the family rule was when we got to kindergarten, we could get our own library card, maybe. I was somewhere in that range. I actually grew up within walking distance of a library, so I have very early memories of walking to the library, carrying my book bag, and we also had a rule that we could only get as many books as we could carry, so that we could make it all the way back home without our mom having to hold all our books for us. Question 4, do you go to your library looking for a particular book, or do you check out anything that piques your interest? So I feel like I mostly answered this in the first question, but right now it is primarily particular books that I know I want to read. If I'm going with my kids, or if I'm there by myself but I'm looking for books that my kids might like, I do a lot more browsing, and then I just kind of grab things that pique my interest or that I think they might like. And almost every time I go to the library, I do like looking at all their displays. They always have fun displays in the windows as you walk in, and then a new release shelf, and then a table for whatever the theme is for the month. I always like looking at the displays. Sometimes I have actually checked some out, but I always just kind of like to keep an eye and see what things are new and all of those fun things. Question 5, do you use your library to check out just books, or do you also check out DVDs or audiobooks, etc.? Most of the time it's just books. I have done DVDs, and the last time I was at the library, I was thinking I should probably get some again, because even though we do have streaming and there's a lot of things on there, not everything's on streaming, and why not check out a movie for free? I don't check out actual audiobooks from the library, but that's mostly because I don't have a CD player right now or a cassette player anymore. Unfortunately, I really wish I'd kept my cassette player, but I didn't. But I do use my Libby app, and so I check out audiobooks through my library that way, and I used to listen to a lot of audiobooks. I always had one going pretty much, and then I kind of took a break. I started listening to a lot more podcasts, and I've kind of been missing the audiobooks, so recently I've been easing some back into my reading rotation. Question 6, from what section of your library do you check out a majority of your books? YA, middle grade, adult, nonfiction. Most of the time it is adult fiction, but again, I go through spells. Last year, I think, or 2 years ago, I read quite a bit of YA. This year I haven't read much, or maybe I've read more than I realized. Anyways, I go through spells, but primarily adult fiction. Chapter 7? Book 7? No. Question 7. What is your favorite part of using your local library? I just love that there is access to all of these books for free. And one time when I was at the library recently, I was just kind of looking around, and it just makes me so happy that there's so much learning available, so much education, so much creativity on the shelves that people can have access to for free. And yeah, I like that. Our library also has a lot of programs and activities for the community, especially a lot of kids programs. And I really like that there's just this place to go for bookish community. And for bonus question, show your library haul. I have 4 books out from the library right now, but I got an email, and there's at least 3 more ready to pick up. So here's my current library haul. I have Bloodmarked, which is the second book in the Legendborn cycle. I listened to the first one, I think 2 years ago, on audio. I had a hard time getting into it, but I think part of my difficulty was listening to it on audio. I think some books are just better for me to read the hard copy. So I have the hard copy of the second one. I have Fruit of the Drunken Tree. This book is set in Colombia during Pablo Escobar's reign. And reading from the cover, it's about a sheltered young girl and a teenage maid who forge an unlikely friendship that threatens to undo them both. I have Iron Flame. I haven't started it. I'm nervous because I liked the first one so much, so I'm very nervous. I've heard a few things about this one. I'm nervous, but I will read it. I will read it. And then I have Stone Blind. This is my book club pick for the month. I'm only on page 50 right now. It's not what I expected. I don't know what I did expect. It's not quite what I expected, but I am enjoying it. So I'm curious to see how it ends up. And now to tag some other booktubers, I would like to tag 4 people: Reading Rekindled, Nicole Wake, Brianna Walker, and Ellen Made Book Club. I will link to all of their channels in the description, so make sure you go check out their channels too. And if I didn't specifically tag you, but you would like to do this tag, consider yourself tagged and then let me know because I would love to hear your answers. And until next time, happy reading.